Most people believe that confidence is something you are born with or without, a fixed trait, like eye color, like height. They grow up hearing, some people just have it and others don't. And slowly, without ever questioning it, they accept the idea that confidence is not theirs to build. But modern psychology, through the work of Albert Bandura, reveals something far more unsettling. Confidence is not something you are given. It is something you construct, shaped by experience, by interpretation, and most importantly, by what you believe about yourself. And here is where it becomes dangerous, because a lack of confidence does not just live inside you, it changes how the world responds to you. Bandura spent decades studying this, and what he discovered was a concept that changes everything: self-efficacy, not self-esteem, not how valuable you feel, but how capable you believe you are, of taking action, of doing the thing, of facing the moment and executing. And this belief has power. It can build your life or quietly destroy it, because self-efficacy behaves like a prophecy. If you believe you cannot, you begin to act as if it is already true. You hesitate, you avoid, you delay, you give up faster than you should. And when things fall apart, you don't see the behavior. You see yourself as the problem, as if the failure was proof of something permanent, something broken. But what makes this even more disturbing is something Bandura identified that most people never notice. Doubt is visible, not loudly, but subtly, in your voice, in your posture, in the way you pause before speaking, in the way your eyes avoid contact. These signals are picked up, almost invisibly, and the people around you begin to respond, not to your potential, but to your uncertainty. So when you don't believe in yourself, you don't just limit your actions, you train others not to believe in you either. And slowly, your world begins to reflect that belief back to you. This is how the cycle forms. Belief creates insecurity. Insecurity changes behavior. Behavior changes how people respond, and those responses confirm the original belief. Until one day, your reality is shaped around something that was never true. I am not capable. And the most dangerous part is that it feels real. But it isn't. For a long time, psychology believed the same lie: that confidence was fixed, that some people were born with strength and others were not. That hesitation meant weakness, that fear meant limitation, as if biology had already decided your place. But Bandura dismantled this idea completely. What he showed was not just a theory. It was a shift in how we understand human behavior itself. Confidence is not a gift. It is learned, built, reinforced, or destroyed. And it does not come from repeating empty phrases like, believe in yourself. It comes from something far more precise, something most people avoid. Action that proves to you that you can. True confidence does not come from thinking highly of yourself. It comes from something far more precise: self-efficacy, the conviction that you can act, that you can face what is in front of you and handle it. Not everything, just this moment, this task, this challenge. You don't need to believe you are capable of everything. You need to believe you can deal with what is here. And this can be built. That is the turning point. Because what Albert Bandura showed is that self-efficacy is not fixed. It is shaped over time, through experience. Every time you complete something difficult, even something small, your mind records it as evidence. I can. Every time you see someone like you succeed, something shifts. It is possible. Every time someone you trust gives you real, very specific feedback, your belief strengthens. And even your body, the racing heart, the tension, the energy can be reinterpreted. Not as fear, but as readiness, as activation, as your system preparing to act. And when that shift happens, you don't feel less intensity. You feel more capable inside it. This changes everything because it means confidence is not destiny. It is a process, something you build step by step. And the absence of it is not a flaw. It is a signal, a reflection of experiences you misunderstood, failures you never processed, or environments that slowly taught you to doubt yourself. No one is born knowing how to lead, how to speak, how to stand firm under pressure. These are built through repetition, through exposure, through doing before you feel ready. But most people are never taught how to build this. So they live inside a learned limitation, a quiet belief that they are not capable. And here, the story turns darker. Because the same system that can build confidence can also destroy it. Slowly, silently, almost invisibly. And when that happens, your mind does not support you. It works against you. This is where self-sabotage begins, not as a dramatic act, but as a pattern. Each failure is no longer information. It becomes proof that you were right to doubt yourself. And from here, a cycle forms, one that shapes your behavior, your decisions, your entire reality. Until eventually you are no longer reacting to the world. You are reacting to an image of yourself that was never true. And yet you live inside it. This is the invisible trap. Most people never realize they are in it, not because they are weak, but because it hides behind things that look reasonable: caution, perfectionism, being realistic. But underneath there is something else, a system built around one belief. I won't succeed. It sounds small, almost harmless, but it distorts everything. Because the moment you face a challenge, you no longer see opportunity. You see threat, and that changes how you act. They begin to withdraw. They avoid exposure. They delay. They overthink. They reduce themselves to the minimum required just to not fail. And the result? Either failure or something worse, a performance far below what they were capable of. And then the mind speaks. See? I knew it. I'm not good enough. And here is the critical point. The mind does not register context. It does not care about effort. It does not see what you were learning. It only collects evidence. Evidence that confirms the story. And so, like a snake swallowing its own tail, the cycle closes. Again and again. Each new attempt more hesitant, more restricted, more destined to fail. Until self-sabotage is no longer something you do. It becomes how you operate. And this is where Albert Bandura made a disturbing observation. This pattern does not only affect what you do, it affects how you are seen. Because doubt is visible, even when you try to hide it. In your eyes, in your voice that breaks mid-sentence, in your body that shrinks under pressure, in the pauses, in the excuses, in the hesitation. All of it forms a language, a silent one, but very clear. I don't believe in myself, and the world responds to that, not consciously, but instantly. Bosses, colleagues, partners, clients, they adjust their expectations, their respect, their trust, not out of cruelty, but out of instinct, because people respond to what they feel. And when you transmit doubt, you increase the probability of being ignored, interrupted, overlooked, or rejected. What started as something internal becomes external. Lack of confidence turns into isolation, missed opportunities, invisibility, and the cruelest part is what happens next. You look at these reactions and you take them as proof. No one takes me seriously. And just like that, the cycle completes itself perfectly. This is the power of self-efficacy. It shapes not only your results, but how you are treated. This is not about positive thinking. It is about what you communicate without saying a word. But here is the deeper question. How are these signals actually transmitted? Why, even when you try to hide insecurity, does it still leak through? Through your voice, your posture, your presence. Because many people believe that insecurity can be masked with the right clothes, the right words, the right smile. But what Albert Bandura pointed to is far more uncomfortable. Insecurity does not need to be spoken, to be seen. It leaks into your body, into your rhythm, into your micro-expressions, even into your absence. A lack of self-efficacy becomes something else, an invisible field, one that repels opportunity, respect, connection, and your body is always communicating. Closed posture, restricted movement, avoiding eye contact, pulling back physically and emotionally, your voice uncertain, broken by pauses, rising at the end as if asking for permission. You apologize before anything goes wrong. You laugh to soften your own presence. And worst of all, your words do not match your energy. Imagine this. I can lead this project, but your eyes drop, your arms close, your voice already apologizing. The words say confidence, but everything else reveals the truth, and people feel that immediately, not consciously, but instinctively. This is the dissonance, and this is why self-sabotage does not need to be loud. It is transmitted silently. Without realizing it, you are always communicating, not just with words, but with something deeper, a signal, and that signal says, I trust myself, or I don't, and the world responds accordingly. If you transmit doubt, people feel it. They hesitate, they resist, they pull back, not because they want to reject you, but because something does not feel solid. And then you interpret this as rejection, as unfairness, as proof that you are not enough. And just like that, your belief deepens. But look at the mechanism. You projected doubt. The world reflected it. And now you believe the reflection was the truth. This is the trap. But the opposite is also true. People with high self-efficacy do not need to convince anyone. They do not over-explain. They do not shrink. Their body is already aligned. Open posture, direct gaze, movements that occupy space without apology. Their voice does not ask, it states, not because they are arrogant, but because they believe in what they are doing. And the body always reveals belief. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You are training people how to perceive you every day, in every interaction, every meeting, every opportunity. You are teaching the world to trust you or to doubt you without saying a word. The way you enter a room, the way you hold eye contact, the way you occupy space, everything communicates. And this leads to a hard reality. It is not enough to have good ideas. It is not enough to be capable. If you do not convey conviction, the world will not invest in you, not because it is unfair, but because it is efficient. People respond to what they feel, especially in environments that are fast, competitive, overloaded. No one has time to decode hidden potential. They respond to the signal you emit. But here everything changes, because if this is learned, it can be rebuilt. If this is a signal, it can be trained. Your body, your mind, your behavior, all of it can be aligned. And this raises the most important question. If confidence can be built, what exactly builds it? What are the real mechanisms? Not motivational slogans, not empty affirmations, but something real, something structured, something scientifically grounded. This is where Albert Bandura goes further than anyone else. He identified 4 sources, 4 pillars that create real self-efficacy, not imagined, not performed, built. And the first is the most powerful of all, mastery, real experience. You do something difficult and you succeed, even in a small way, and your brain records it. I did it. That single moment has more weight than any motivation, any advice, any external praise. But here is the mistake most people are waiting for: a big victory, something impressive, something undeniable. And because of that, they ignore the small wins. Speaking for 2 minutes, finishing something simple, handling a difficult conversation. Each one is evidence. Each one rewrites the internal story. But if you ignore them, your mind has nothing to build on. And so you remain stuck, waiting for confidence to appear first, instead of building it through action. Verbal persuasion is the spark. But there is a 4th element, one that most people misunderstand completely: your body, your emotional state, the signals inside you, because many people feel nervous and instantly conclude, I'm not capable. The heart races, the mouth dries, the hands sweat, and the interpretation is immediate. This means I'm not ready. But this is the mistake. As Albert Bandura pointed out, these signals are not fear. They are activation, the same body, the same reactions, but a different meaning. An athlete feels it and calls it adrenaline. A musician feels it and calls it energy. A beginner feels it and calls it failure. Before anything even happens, nothing changed except the interpretation. And that interpretation decides everything. Because when you learn to see these sensations as preparation, not danger, you stop resisting them. You start using them, and this strengthens self-efficacy. Now all four elements come together. Small victories build evidence, models expand possibility, feedback sustains effort, and emotional regulation keeps you functioning under pressure. Together, they create something rare, confidence that is not fragile, not dependent on approval, not performed, but built, slowly, consistently, real. But this is only the beginning. Because once you start to believe in yourself, everything changes. Not just how you act, but how the world responds to you. And this is where a new cycle begins. Not one of doubt, but of reinforcement. A virtuous cycle, one that transforms your behavior, your results, your identity. It starts with something small, not certainty, just enough belief to act. You try, but this time you are present, engaged, willing to persist, not protecting yourself but expressing yourself. And because of that, the result changes, slightly at first, but noticeably. And then the cycle begins to turn. You believe a little more. You act with more intention. You get better results. Your belief strengthens. You take on more. People notice. They respond differently, with openness, with respect, with opportunity. And suddenly your environment shifts, not because the world became fair, but because you changed the signal. You stopped asking and started occupying space. And this is power. Not loud, not aggressive, but undeniable. People feel it, they trust it, they follow it. Not arrogance, but quiet conviction. Doors open faster, conversations deepen, opportunities appear, and not by chance, by alignment. Because human beings respond to certainty and withdraw from doubt. And certainty does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be real enough to keep you moving. But there is something deeper. Something even more important. This cycle changes who you are. Each time you act despite fear, each time you succeed even slightly, your identity shifts. You stop seeing yourself as fragile, as limited, as not enough. And slowly you stop living from the past, from old failures, from old labels. You begin to act from expansion, not from approval, not from fear, but from possibility. You enter a different level of being. One where you allow yourself to take up space. But here comes the uncomfortable truth, the one Albert Bandura warned about. Most people never enter this cycle, not because they can't, but because they never start. They remain in the opposite loop: doubt, withdrawal, waiting for permission, waiting for certainty, waiting for someone to tell them they are ready. So they only act when it feels safe. They only speak when invited. They only move when there is no risk left. And because of that, they live below their potential, not by accident, but by pattern. Self-efficacy is not a detail. It is a force, one that shapes your actions, your limits, and even what you believe you deserve. Because no one can sustain a life they internally believe they are unworthy of, not for long. But here, everything shifts. Because if this cycle can begin with a single decision, to act despite doubt, then the key has always been in your hands. So the real question is, what is stopping you? What are you still waiting for? Albert Bandura left us with something undeniable. The way you see yourself defines what you attempt, what you persist in, what you achieve, and how the world responds to you. Confidence is not a gift. It is built, trained, forged like a muscle. And like any muscle, it weakens when ignored and grows when challenged. But here is the hardest truth and the most liberating. No one will believe in you more than you believe in yourself. The world will not give you permission. It will not hand you confidence. It will not respect you out of kindness. It responds to what you project. And if what you project is hesitation, doubt, uncertainty, that is exactly what returns to you. Closed doors, voices louder than yours, eyes that pass through you as if you are not there. This is not cruelty. It is reflection. You are not being judged unfairly. You are being mirrored. Every gesture, every word, every decision you avoid, all of it says one thing: I don't believe in myself. And the world agrees. But this can change, not through motivation, but through action. Start small. Win battles no one will see. Reinterpret the signals, the anxiety, the mistakes, the silence. Use them. Build evidence. Every day create a new identity. Not one that waits to be seen, but one that becomes impossible to ignore. Because in the end, you have two choices. Continue the cycle. Wait. Hope. Depend on someone or something to tell you that you are capable. Or break it, yourself, through small, consistent, intentional actions. Until one day the reflection changes, and the world sees what you finally decided to see. Someone capable, prepared, necessary. And now, there is only one question left. What is your first move? Not tomorrow. Today. Something small, but real, because that is where everything begins. And once it begins, it does not stop.